Hi everyone, I'm Julia and today I'm going to do the full face of Charlotte Tilbury makeup. First of all, I should prep my skin. I've already applied the moisturizer and now I apply the Magic Eye Rescue under my eyes and onto my lips. The second step is the foundation. I use the mix of two products, the Airbrush Flawless Foundation in the shade N2 and the Wonderglow primer. So I mix them and the Airbrush Flawless Foundation is going to do the more beautiful, more sheer coverage, but it's getting to be lighter, it's getting to be more beautiful and it gives more light to the skin. I love the mix of two of these products. They don't moisturize the skin, but it lasts long, and yes, I use it almost every time. I applied it with the help of the beauty blender, and the following step is concealer. I apply Magic Away concealer in the shade 4. I used the shade 3 Fair, but I didn't love it, absolutely not my concealer, but the shade 4 is better for me. It's more suitable for me by the shade, and I don't know how they're so different, but yes, it's better. I loved it more than the previous time and applied it with the help of the brush. The following steps is the eyebrows. I use the Legendary Brows product in the shade Brigitte and apply with the help of the brush for the eyebrows. I haven't done it before, but I love the result that it gives to the eyebrows. And then, instead of the powder for the eyebrows, I use the powder for Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Powder in the shade Dark. It's a little bit yellowy, so if your skin is so light, I suppose your eyebrows will be yellow. And now I remove the extras of this product from the brush and applied it onto my eyebrows. And the following steps is the eyeshadows. I use the flat synthetic brush to apply the darkest shade from the palette Pillow Talk Instant Eye palette. Then I prep my eyelids to the application of the eyeshadows and I use the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Bronzer in the shade Wine Fair. Then I use the shade from the palette Pillow Talk Instant Eye palette and applied it on my eyelid. This brush is by Wayne Goss from the Blue Squirrel. It applies not too much of product. I use the lightest shimmering shade. It applied it with the help of the fingertips and blended with synthetic brush. Apply the same shade into the inner corner of my eyes. And then I use the Airbrush Bronzer in the shade 01 Fair and I use it instead of the powder. So it's one of my favorite, no, that's my favorite bronzer because it gives a little bit more matte coverage, but it blurs the pores. It gives so beautiful, absolutely beautiful skin in the camera, in the real life, and I love this product, yes. And now I use the lightest shade from the palette in Pillow Talk instead of the highlighter and apply it with the help of the soft brush from the Blue Squirrel. Then I moisturize my lips again with the product Magic Eye Rescue. And I apply the blushes in the shade Love with the Drug Cheek to Chic by Charlotte Tilbury. I use the same brush as I applied the highlighter. And then I use the bronzer again and I blend the edges with the help of the bronzer. I take the airbrush false powder in the shade Dark and I use instead of the sculpture, so this gorgeous shade to sculpt the skin for the more darker skin tones, but I use it instead of the sculpture, the bronzer, so something in the middle. We can mix these two shades, airbrush flawless powder in the shade Dark and airbrush flawless bronzer in the shade All Fair, and we get the beautiful bronzer for my skin tone. I love the texture of this product and love the formula, so I can say this is one of my favorite products. And I use the blushes onto my lips. That's why we prepped our skin on the lips again, so it's moisturized well. And now I apply the blushes and blend it with the help of the flat brush. I apply the same shade onto my eyelid, so in my opinion it looks more common. Take the airbrush flawless powder in the shade Dark and I use it instead of the sculpture again with the help of the bigger brush. I use the same shade onto my eyelid to do my hooded eyes a little bit smaller. I apply the lightest shade on my inner corner of my eyes again, to do the shimmer a little bit more. The pinky tone shimmer and applied it onto the middle of my eyelid with the help of the same brush. And I take the darkest shade from the palette and I use instead of the eyeliner. Then I take the product from my eyebrows and I use it to sculpt the lips. I haven't used it before, but I usually use the pencil for my eyebrows to sculpt the lips. Now I use this product for my lips, so I think it's so interesting experience. If you've ever done it, write please in the comments below. I've never done it before, but I love the results, so I suppose it's not so bad. And I used the lightest shade from the shimmering shade from the palette Pillow Talk and I used instead of the highlighter onto my neck. Oh yeah, that's the final look, so it's a little bit daytime. Of course I usually don't use it for the winter because I'm so pale, but now in the summer, in the autumn, I suppose it's so well, it lasts long, so you can see this makeup to the end of the day. And that's the second time I used the Magic Way concealer. Now I remember this is the shade For Fair. I don't know, that's not my favorite products, I suppose. I will not purchase the full size product, but that's not bad concealer. So guys, thank you for watching. I hope you like this video. See you soon in the next videos. Bye.